I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. Got no sense no more. Don't even know my existence. Am I wrong to believe in the city of gold? The lies in deep distance. Walking away from the words. Goodbye, summer. Hate to see you go. I wasn't ready for autumn wind to blow. So we, we had a fine time holding hands in June. I wasn't ready for autumn wind. So love me. My heart is frozen in this night, waiting for another mistake. Bring it back my own. Goodbye, summer. It's through my old friend. I wasn't ready for some things to have. Oh, Geodes! Yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah. Help, I'm a rock. 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 Ha, 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 ha. Boom, 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 boom. Bada boom, 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 boom. Bada boom, 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 boom. Ba, ba, bum, boom, 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 boom. Never found pain. I didn't stay. Lord, I say, try to believe it, but if the river won't flow, the river won't flow, yeah. Well, the river won't flow, no, no. The angel calling me. You help us find my soul is my soul is on your command. Calling here. Oh, sorry, little buddy. Oh, little buddy. You have come calling home. Boom, boom, boom. Straight to your heart. And I am coming home. Carry me on. Carry me on. And I'm coming home. Yeah. I'm seeing you. Well, carry me home and let me take my hand. I'm ready. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, spent an hour on it. I've gotten this far. To do the rest of this, it's going to take 10 hours. So I have to come up with another way to do this. I need some sort of separator where I can use a shovel and do it in one big felt swoop. That would do 2 cubic yards. So that would cut it down to 4 hours. If I got a helper, it could cut it down to 2. So I'm already going to eat on this job. Okay. What I do? I underbid a job. It's okay though. It's for a client that I have normal business with, and I just enjoy it. Well, that was hot, real hot. Yeah. Oh, bummer. Ooh. C flat, D flat, E flat, F flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, C D E F G A B C, C sharp, D sharp, B sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, E sharp, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D E F sharp, G A B C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C double sharp, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, ooh, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp. All right, now E sharp, F double sharp, G double sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C double sharp, D double sharp, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, D flat, E flat, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp, D sharp, B sharp, F double sharp, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. A sharp, B sharp, C double sharp, E sharp, F double sharp, G double sharp, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. B sharp, C sharp, C double sharp, D double sharp, E sharp, F double sharp, G double sharp, A double sharp. And then this C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, A, C, E, B, D, F, G, B, C, E, G, B flat, C, E, G, A, C, E, G. We missed the third, C, G. Fascinating rhythm, you got me on the go. Fascinating rhythm. Neither always wondering why you want to without a piece of coming. Each morning I wake up with the sun to see now, not know what has been done. When it's by my meow, 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 meow. Oh, oh man, painful. All right. Oh, good. There we go. Put it on board. Yeah. If you ever change your mind, Aloha. Yeah, it's Flora and Fauna. It's nice out here in Hawaii. Hey, curator. Hi. It's Yeah, I'm doing. What up, man? Day's going okay. I think. I'm really bummed out. I underbid this. It's gonna take me forever. I couldn't find a worker, but it is what it is. I'm slowly transitioning out of labor, and I'm super super excited to be able to move into music full time. Actually, follow my dream. Start recording. Keep teaching. Um, Run free workshops and events here in Hilo. Wow. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me today, for sure. If you're enjoying this, this is just the other side of what I do. Other than that, do enjoy the flora and fauna as well. This one seems to be, it's gonna be a little harder. Got these river rocks. In fact, I'm hoping to find like a geode or something inside one of these, like a crack open, which would be fun. But yeah, I figured if I get this patch done here today, and then start right here, I have a doctor's appointment at 1 o'clock. And then I will just come back, and no matter how many hours it takes me to do this, I'll finish it so the customer likes it and appreciates it, and that's how I roll. So whatever. Just gonna try some new stuff here. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe I could do this right now. Just show like a little upper. I mean, oh, for sure. That's great. I love it. Nice. Are you playing at like a bar, or are you playing at like a music venue? Um, that's really cool. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Have you done it before? Or is it your first time? Either way, congrats, man. Playing out live is lots of fun. Oh, jeez. Got the coughs. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Very nice. Doesn't really go too far which way or the other. Although we did get some rain last 2 weeks ago that just knocked me on my butt. Our house leaked. Everybody's house is leaked. It was horrible. Some of the worst weather I've seen in like 6 years. All right, I got this. I think. What kind of music you guys playing? Originals, covers? How? Oh, that better not have been a. Oh, did I just get stung by a? No. I just got stung by a centipede. Mm. Mm. That's ridiculous. Okie doke. Yeah. Christian rock covers. Just a. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. There used to be a bunch of really good Christian bands. DC Sock. All covers. Nice. Small pop. Love it. Yeah, go shine, man. Shine on. Something that I've kind of derived in my own sphere here is I've written so much personal music. I'm at a point where I have to get it out and have other people play it. I'm in the process of writing charts for different instruments, organizing it for LPs or stuff I can put out, and then hit the recording studio. I don't expect it's going to do much of anything, but I love making music. I'm sure somebody's going to dig what I do. I'm just sure. And then I pretty much consider this industry dead after the AI boom here. So really, it's just for the love of it and the resurgence of, musical purity. Yes, getting back to roots. Maybe there will be like musical enlightenment, but I don't view Green Day as classic rock. I'm still too young, so I do a lot of current music, like a lot. I can judge music. I know over 400,000 songs. I've written 4,000 songs. I'm pretty cool judging music. I'm okay with my views. I know the form that they use. Something else when a song is popular and people love it, it's just strophic form, which means to just do the A form over and over, like Happy Birthday, Old McDonald, Amazing Grace. They don't have a B section. There's no refrain. It is just the A section. It's really all music is that I listen to. Taylor Swift. Um, and when you do get something that is a little bit more overproduced and good and a lot of fun, they use sex to sell it. It's just a bunch of young girls taking advantage of a system that doesn't care about them. So, no, I'm pretty broken in music. But on a personal level, I moved to a place where I thought I could be of service. And as you can see me doing yard work right now for my labor client, I am nothing more than a servant in every way, shape, and form. And the end result of all this, I like to learn the lesson and the value in life. I've done many things extremely wrong, unfortunately, and I'm tired of learning a lesson the wrong way. I'd rather learn it the right way. So I'm trying to shut up a little bit more in life, ask more questions, listen more. And, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but 2026 feels crazy. So I no longer want to take all day, every day worrying about other people's stuff. I want to finish building my house so my Maslow's theory of hierarchy is finished. And then I would like to follow my dream. And if I'm going to always be eating canned food and be grateful for it, then I'd rather be recording in a studio or flying places to go record on their albums or, wait to see what the world looks like in 2028. But I am completely, I wouldn't say disillusioned. I'm pretty aware of what's going on. I just don't know what my role is. So, and maybe there isn't a role. Maybe I'm putting too much importance upon myself, which is fine. Maybe that's the grand takeaway for it all. However, what is life but doing things and then rejuvenating and the cycle of death and decay and moving. So long story short is I know 400,000 something covers, and when I play with 3 people that know the song, I don't need to know the song. I just know how to play music. When I play with 2 people that know the song, I don't even know how to play the song. I know how to listen. When I play with 1 person that knows the song, I know how to accompany it, and make them sound wonderful. And when I don't know the song, I generally don't play it. I tell people I can't play it, or I'll fake it a little bit of it, or I'll do something else in that vein or pocket. But what that's led to is music analyzation, being able to understand a vast amount of different concepts that didn't make sense. And I don't, out of 1 out of 10, I probably know 2 out of 10 for music. I'm very much looking forward to spending the rest of my life learning. But I have the ability to communicate what I've learned in a fashion that apparently people enjoy. So young, old, I'm doing my thing. I'm just trying to have fun, and I know if it's supposed to be something, it'll be something. Other than that, just trying to keep food in the belly. Keep my wife extremely happy, or as happy as I can. Remember that everybody's in pain and suffering, and that if I don't take myself too serious, everything passes in 24 hours generally, except for the hard ones, and then you learn to deal with them on your own way. So for those of you who truly know me, they know I've got another channel out there. I'm a little testy. Long story short, I deleted every comment and every post that I've made on that channel, and I've rebranded it as something else. Rather than being negative Nancy about things, I'm going to try to um, highlight organizations and people that are doing the right thing for social change and how you can help them or how you can mimic them. Rather than complaining about everything being one way or the other, it's obvious how things are. Um, my core foundation is I'm not really mad, kind of ashamed. So I'd like to have an outlet to be able to do that. Seems like YouTube is a safe space for me, social media. I don't do any of the other ones. If you've seen my page, that means that I created one and I don't use it. Most likely, I'll delete it unless something happens here with how social media is used. But I don't really, I don't think I'll be investing too much time in the future on YouTube other than what I'm doing right now. Just for the fact that I understand what AI is and the promise that AI will be and what it will never be, and then how much energy is used in the ramification on our climate. So humans will be facing climate collapse probably in the next 20 years, if not the next 2 or 5. And the war that we're experiencing right now, not even to get into that, but the ecological damage that is happening just in that centralized location and all the ports around the world, plus the algae blooms and then the hot water streams in the ocean. There is no hope for combating climate change. It is at a point where it's in on rolling collapse. So unless there's a democratic world, not even government, I do not believe humans will have the time, energy, or resources to undo what has been done at a certain point. So I do not want to push a mower for the rest of my life. I'd rather play music. So that's how I feel. So, and I don't think that's wrong. And just on a side tangent, I had a buddy of mine that I still consider my best friend. We haven't spoken in a long time. I miss them dearly. But if I would have followed my dream when I was 19, I wouldn't be sitting on my knees picking rocks out of the door. I'd probably be dead the way that I was going. Um, I wouldn't wish it any other way at this point because I understand what this is now. But, I think about my buddy all the time and I miss him and I love him. I really wish that I would have followed that life journey. I could fantasize about it in my head every once in a while, but the truth is, everybody's on their own journey. Maybe my role wasn't to be the rock star. Maybe it was just to be the supporting role. And when I had the job as running lighting and sound, doing the background for theater and rock groups in San Francisco, it's called Lighting and Rigging. Long story short, I worked for my buddy. I worked my way up. I learned a lot, and I realized how much it actually takes to put on production. So I gained a absolutely natural respect for everything behind the scenes. And it dawned upon me, rather than me just working in guitar stores, changing strings and learning how to play new instruments and teaching a little and do, I could have been like a road tech for a traveling band, or been a caterer for a traveling band, or you know whatever, or learn how to transpose and like I can now and transpose music for Green Day or something. I never realized how much fun I could have had in life. I wasted every moment being upset and angry about it. And all of my music reflected that for the last, I guess, 30 years. It turns out the music I'm writing right now, I really enjoy because it's not coming from a place of despair and anguish and everything else. It's coming from a place of like just true acceptance and love and understanding and a little bit of self gratification rather than self loathing. how pretty. But yeah, stuff like that, stop to smell the flowers kind of mentality. And it seems stupid to say it now, but wisdom truly is lost on the young or on the old, rather. It's just something, if you had the wisdom that you have when you get older, you wouldn't do things the same. And that's really not how life is supposed to be done. So I guess in a nutshell, I'm super happy with my knees picking out rocks. I'm providing a service. I'm enjoying my day. Um, while I'm doing this, I'm also multitasking my future. I'm thinking about how to organize a website, how to get something called an SEO and optimize the YouTube channel. Um, and if I could just shift my finances where I could make X amount to cover what I'm doing in labor, I will absolutely love flying around the country, meeting my favorite YouTube channels, maybe do some live events everywhere. I don't know. As I aforementioned, I could get a job transposing for a band on the spot. And who knows what there is. But I know this. If I inspire one person to try it all, do everything, there are consequences. You might want to be careful what you choose. But life is pretty interesting and awesome. So rather than being ashamed of being something or angry at being something, maybe the concept that you aren't what the voices in your head tell you are, and just to have fun doing it. But that's kind of the goal of this channel. And the goal of today is just to enjoy the sunlight, inspire a couple people, maybe talk a story. Sorry, I'm not more interactive with the chat right now. I just want to really keep at it, but I will pop in every couple seconds and look at everything for every 20 minutes. So, if you can, check out an up and coming band. I frankly don't know their names. They're under the age of 18, I believe. So I don't want to get too personal, but they have a rock band, and I like them a lot. They kind of sound like Frank Zappa and Ween, and a whole bunch of other awesomeness. So the name of the band is called On the Stump. So check them out. They try to drop songs every once in a while, generally in twos or threes. I'd like to encourage them to keep going. And then as soon as they have the opportunity, go in the studio, record something, put it out there, yada yada. That's what I'm looking forward to doing on my own. So dual experiences. But yeah. Terminator. Help on the rock. Help on the rock. Oh, 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 oh. Also, I'm moving on from a spot because I'm one of those people that got the OCDs. So I have to make it like perfect in this spot and then move on. So it takes forever to go. One of my goals um, for combating OCD and extreme ADHD is to let things go, to try to not think about them or be okay with uh, dirtiness or laziness. Been trying to take more days off. Really tired all the time, but I'm grateful that my hand works again. I'm grateful that my wife has a job and she enjoys that job. It's really hard to have the necessity to have work, but not enjoy what you do. So I'm really grateful she enjoys the people she works with and the job at which she does. Oh. Don't come changing, try to replace your limits. And surrender that old familiar. You don't see me anymore. Let's see here. Maslow's. Yeah, I'm still working on it. Very close. Hey, are you working with me today? Are you my worker? Oh, yeah. Excellent. How much do you want? I'm negotiable for sure. I know. The lighting, electric feature. Oh, cool. Yeah, film. That must be hard. Yeah, it is a little disturbing, and it's super toxic. I've learned that.
Working hard.
Hard worker. Yeah, cool.
It's looking better already.
Right on.
Okay, we're gonna load up for donations, and I'll see you later.
Shoots. Right on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I have a doctor's appointment. I might have to come back today or schedule for tomorrow. Shoots.
Thank you.
Hello. Need to know that you belong, baby. Quack, quack. Same old someone that I knew. Yeah, it is a little toxic. I agree. I had a roommate that was a real piece of work. They worked in the film side of it, and they would get drunk and pass out at the front door and leave the front door open, and our dogs would get out. I asked them several times not to do that. Like, this person, every time they opened their mouth, they talked about how awesome they were and who they knew. And it just began to be psychologically damaging to be around the individuals just because of the toxicity. Um, I think I truly am the way I am as an observation of my own silly internal structure, and then realizing everybody has that, and then noticing the worst among our human uh, type of personality. And I just find it all to be kind of this way. It's white male toxicity in extreme. And I know there's toxicity on all different levels, but our whole system is based off of this nonsense. And it has to end. Patriarchal domination. The 90-10 split on masculine to feminine, contradiction, all different types of things we do. Oh, it's a beautiful rock. Help on the rock. And then the end result is, and nothing will ever change until we change the systems. So these psychopaths that are running our country aren't the issue. They're just the cause of the issue. But this isn't the channel for that. And you will learn on your own. I hope everybody's registered to vote. If not, you could go to vote.org. VOTE.org. Hey, help on the rock. Help on the rock. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, all the covers I want to do, nobody that I live around is capable of doing. And I've offered to teach, uh, you know, the foundations of this. I had a couple players that I played with that expressed interest in doing some of the stuff I like, but no. And also, it just so happens I'm a big fish in a small pond, which I knew was going to happen, but I am extremely humbled by who I am and what this truly is. So I don't really go out, show off music skills, or I go out and support people. Uh, I don't really go out to open mics and stuff like that because there's only 2 or 3 places to go. And all the people know each other, and they're bars, and I don't drink alcohol. So long story short is I never really go out there. I just support other people in other venues, which are lots of fun in my own way. I do go out to bars, but I don't drink. So if I go out, I'm there to support musicians or music or something. And the long run, uh, I'm trying to do a music community center that is an alcohol and drug free space. So here on island, generally people who drink just go to the bars. There's more like a scene for that, and many people do that have the money to do it. But I'm poor. Most of the people that I know or hang out with are poor as well. So when you go out to do anything, it costs a lot of money. And I'd like to have a surf safe kitchen, which means I could rent out the space for people who want cottage license to be able to produce, I don't know, bread or cookie or anything that has to be made in a kitchen. You can't sell anything unless it, well, it used to be without, I don't know how it is now in the Trump administration. I assume they gutted all the rules and regulations, but here in Hawaii, it's really lax, but you kind of want to offer good quality. So I don't really trust a couple of the products that are on the side of the road that are selling stuff that I don't, they're hanging out with the pigs on the side of the road all day and they don't look like they have sanitation stuff over there. But after a certain period of time, you just know where to go. Who've been doing it forever. I would love to provide a place for them to do their thing, to make cottage license, to learn how to orchestrate so we can bring cheaper, more effective, better, sustainable foods and projects to the local community. And at current moment, there's just everything in Hawaii is expensive, just ridiculously expensive. And that's fine. We understand that going there. But being a kind of a big fish, small pond, I don't want to go out and spend money at bars I can't afford to go out at. And I can't afford to go eat. And the only way that I can play music is the same thing. As a grown man, they offer me peanuts, because music's not important. They could just as well have a music box, a jukebox. So it's kind of discouraging. It's depressing, actually, but it just is the level of what it is here. So rather than worry about booking gigs, I just book free events and then I go play and I meet new musicians and I offer free lessons around town to encourage people to follow their path. And I don't take myself too seriously. So that's about it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the theater. I would not theater, the recording studio. I would love to be able to do a music community center that is non-religious, that does not have alcohol, and the stage that is there is provided for locals, and then maybe touring acts to come through. There are only one or two places to play on this side, and one of them is really nice. I'm really looking forward to going back there and playing. And then the other one is just like it's a bar. It doesn't have a liquor license. There's a lot of shady, weird stuff that goes on there. I do not support that place in any way, shape, or form. And I don't even really want to talk about it right now, but there could be a little bit more diversity here. And that's what I'm shooting to push for. And if I find that I can't fulfill my dream, whatever money that was made from this channel that's going in a bank account, we're just not doing anything with it, sits in there, I'm just going to match that. And if I can't do it myself, I'll donate that to another charitable organization that can. And that's how I roll. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next year, transitioning out of this labor and then being able to do music full time. Well, I'm starting to do dirty work because I'm chit-chatting. Chatty Nancy over here. You know what? Is there a function on YouTube that says the comments out loud so I could hear them? I wish there was. If there's not, there should be. That is something that I stopped doing. In my 20s and 30s, I used to always be like, I got an idea. I got an invention. Now I just don't care. I don't talk about it. One, nobody cares what I have to say ever. Two, even if I did come up with something and it was useful, I would never have the means to make it. And if I did, somebody would patent it before I did and have lawyers to tell me that I didn't do it. And then four, I think Jesus hates me, which is viable. Okay with that though. I don't believe. No, no, no. If I had my wish to come true in this next year, I would actually grow a pair, and I would record music that I like that influences people like Frank Zappa did to me. Talk about things that are uncomfortable, so people are angry at the words rather than the message. and encourage people to be civilly active. Ooh, Christies, my feet hurt. What are you doing? Yeah, oh man, there's so many bugs. We all sell produce, canned goods at market. Yeah. Hard work sometimes hang on a hat. Yeah. Oh, OBS does, huh? Interesting. I used it the other day. Something's definitely wrong with YouTube. Wow, look gold. Wow. Something's definitely wrong with YouTube. I can't play guitar or any of my instruments and talk. It has voice cancellation. They can't fix it. They don't know what's going on. Happens to many of the other channels too. I'm just really bummed out about it. Whew. Yeah, I think. Oh, okay. You know, I would like to put stuff into. Oh, you're a machinist? Nice. I've had many fun ideas for machine work. Actually, it's good to know a machinist. Maybe I could trade you a service if I could have a concept made. Got a lot of fun ideas. But yeah, man, I get it. It's just life is at that point right now where it's like you gotta follow that dream. If you don't follow that dream, what are we doing? Like dream, 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 dream. Never need to. All I gotta do is dream. I can make you mine. Kiss your lips and wine. Anytime, every day. Only trouble is, I'll be pulling these rocks every day. Uh-oh, you'll hear helicopters. I think maybe the volcano's going off. If you're watching this right now and you already don't watch the Big Island Volcano channel, it's called Apu Turds. Check it out. Tours. I think I said turds. I meant to say tours. Apu. Apuha. Apuha. Have fun. Let's tell them we said hi and we appreciate them. We love their channel. Or you can just type in Kilauea eruption and it will it'll come up. I got a doctor's appointment, so we have to cut this short probably. I got to go find out what's wrong with my foot. I got a pain on one of my bones. I don't remember. This is a small one. I don't want to get bit again. Painful. Yeah, I got to go figure out what's wrong with one of my bones. Grubby and painful, and every time I hit it the wrong way, it's very jolting. I don't really know what it is. So bummed out. It's been there for like a month now. I can't seem to get rid of it, no matter what I do. And I'm talking to the doctor and tell me that it's my work shoes are too small, or I work too hard, or whatever. But not something crazy like I got bone cancer or some shit. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Just, wow. But yeah, negative Nancy. That's what I'm trying to get rid of, all the vocal chatter and just live for the day and deal with whatever comes on. And you know, after this year, I don't know if it could get any crazier. My mom died last year. Didn't have a chance to really have a closure or meaningful relationship at all. My father is a right-wing conservative Trump supporting Nazi that quite literally puts his money where his mouth is. He's a horrible person. So I cut him out of my life and told him what I really think of him. So hopefully I never have to talk to him again, but I do think about him, you know. I need to have closure on some level. And then, as we know, the world's kind of on fire with, in my opinion, right-wing Christian nationalists have radicalized the government, weaponized the DOJ and all of our things, and all you have to do is listen to the words of the people that are in charge, realize they're incompetent, and it's amazing we're here. So I kind of feel a little shamed and partly responsible because I wasn't politically activated in my 20s and 30s. Now that I am, I can see how it happened, why it happened, and because I'm slightly educated. I realize this is how it's always been. White people are just kind of waking up now. This is the how it feels for anybody of color, anybody who's not a Christian in America. And the truth is, looking at it practically, what is the sustainability of the human race, or a group of people, or a continent, or an item that's advertised on TV that stays on the shelf and then is gone? Like, what is our shelf life, and how do we want to spend our time, energy, and money? Because what I do, I found out, is copied and stolen from what I do and put on different websites that has no link to me. Every video that I've ever done is put on another channel, which is in Hindi now and Farsi, and then Portuguese. Last time I checked was like 6 months ago, and I asked one of my computer guys what I should do, and they're like, "Well, it's not harming you in any way, and sometimes it drives traffic to your channel, so leave it." I was like, "Okay, that's just the way the world works." But I don't even know if that's right. But the truth is, like, in a little bit, these LLM models will absolutely be able to take everything I did, make a whole platform, and then it just, diversifies whatever monetary compensation you get for any deed done to the bottom line, which is not me. So what I'm shooting for is total suffocation of the GOP and Christ, and then people with rationale doing stuff politically that makes sense, like term limits, take money out of politics, have the Republicans choose the Democratic senators, Congress people, in legislation, and have the Republicans pick the Democrats and have the Democrats pick the Republican legislation. The next Supreme Court justice that gets picked shouldn't be through the eyes of the president or some ratification through these people who are obviously persuaded by nonsense. Harlan Crow. I mean, wow. Boochin, Mr. Dummy Dumb. I mean, just it's nuts. So I guess the end result is, I think it would make sense for like the next Supreme Court justice not to be picked by them, but if the next one coming up should be a Republican, then have the Democrats pick it. You can have a Republican, just let the Democrats pick who that Republican is. If you want to have a Democrat, let the Republicans pick who the Democrat is. I think that would take care of a lot of this. Plus, getting the money out of finance. But then again, I don't know anything. I'm just an idiot that's picking rocks. If I knew how to fix this, I wouldn't be in a garden picking rocks. I'm pretty sure if somebody's going to do it, I'm there to support them. And I'm hoping everybody gets universal basic income, which could provide for healthcare. And the only thing I have to say to everybody who's listening is like, "Why are you political, bro?" Or something. How about this? 2 billion days, $2 billion every single day for a war that is unlawful, not constitutional, like psychopathic, killing people for Christ. It's nuts. So thank you. And as an American, my patriotism is to hunt down every one of these people and hold them accountable and be a part of organizations that do that until every breath that I've ever taken stands for something. Or else it's all worthless. Like Bitcoin. Empty promises with eager sheep. The emperor definitely has no clothes, and we are all seeing it right now. And for those of us who've been watching it for the last 40 years, 80 years, 100 years, all of time, it's time for that social change. It really happens. It's going to be amazing. Like I said, I don't know anything about anything. I'm just hoping that we've got a swing of the social pendulum, and then the people that have caused this are held accountable on both sides. And I don't expect the GOP to last this. Party of Christ is the party of cruelty. Shame on them, and them right now. But as I don't know enough about this. All I know is I know how to support people who do. Almost every day I watch somebody called EMC, Elizabeth something Cronin, EMC. They do news. They're very intelligent, and they've got a great way of breaking it down. Also watch something called Permrose Permaculture. They're also pretty educated about everything, and they give it like in a very laid back fashion, which I dig. And then, I wish I had money for ground news, but I watch ground news articles that have given by other places. I kind of limited my interaction with right wing and left wing media pundits. And now everyone's check the news every day either. I had to stop doing that because it drives me crazy. Ooh, man, it's hot. Gee whiz. And then now I'm just devoting more time and attention to building a house, teaching my wife, and stuff like that. So if you are feeling it and you have nobody to talk to, remember there are places you can go and talk to about things that are happening. And it's okay to talk to people about stuff like that. On that note, I'm going to stop talking about stuff like that. I can get some water in a minute. All right, I am on the final push here towards this. I should be able to get it. And as long as I can get some weed blocker and this leveled off and down, I would love to do that. Get out of here at 12, and I might be able to come back later today. Woo! Scheiße. So you can turn on the 1 inch key. Was there a well, what it do? How you doing, buddy? Oh, you chat straight to MIDI. Yeah, that's way above my pay grade. I don't even understand how to hook that stuff up. Interesting. Do. Yeah, I watch Wesley's Fingers too. I'm enjoying watching them, and then the music aspect of it, watching the technicality of the writing, and then the programs being used. It's very cool. Learn a lot, you know. Wow, I think I just moved half a ton of rock. How fun. I hope my 50s are as fun as my 40s. Last? No, sir. Where do I go in Wisconsin? Where do I go in LA? I need those nits today. I need those nits. No, they are the nits. The double nits. Over shortly. Think it is importantly. Told me you could get me in a $50 suit. Eddie, are you kidding? Eddie, are you kidding? No, Eddie, I'm not kidding. Boom, 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 boom. Oh man, yeah, Wes. If you're still out there, I'm looking forward to actually getting and honing in on what program I want to use, and then just try to learn it. I know that I've got the learning curve going on here. One, I'm a dummy technologically, but there's so many resources out there. I just hope, like, I wanted to learn Finale my whole life. I bought Finale, and then 2 months later, after investing countless hours, they discontinued it. So I got its replacement, and then I haven't been able to devote that amount of time to it. So oh geez, oh man, I'm on sitting on a den of centipedes. Not great. Yeah, I want to learn a program and how to get in. I've used FL Fruit Loops back in the day when there's like 30 loops or whatever. Use Audacity. I've used a couple different ones over at different places. I've seen how they work. I'm not a dummy on it, but I just don't know the ins and outs of it. And just I need to set up templates so it's ready to rock. All I have to do is go in there. I know how to, plug in my interface. I know how to get all my instruments balanced. I just need help. So that's why I can't do labor and try to do music. There's just not enough time in the day. I'm already at a learning curve because I'm 46 and there's a 12-year-old right now that knows more about everything I do than I do. So it's a real bummer. But it doesn't deter me being a dummy. It just makes me want to work a little harder, try to figure out how to work smarter. Like this, I should have devised a grate or a shaker because this is taking way too long. But I don't have any mesh with me. And I can't think about where is any right now unless I bought something. I'm not going to spend money. I've already lost money on this job, which is a bummer. But as I said, I should have known better. I had to find somebody to help me work, but out of the 20 people who responded to me, I contacted 12, and every one of them was like, nope, sorry, too far, or nope, sorry, not enough money, or nope, sorry, misunderstood. I thought, I thought you wanted to do work, or like, it's just, Facebook is useless, and I don't do Facebook, so I don't have whatever that service is. And here on island, people seem a little nuts, which is great. I'm a little nuts too. We're all here for a reason, but I don't know. I'm bummed out. I can't find one person to do work with me. That about. And the people that I have had in the past, after working with them for like 3 or 4 months, they fizzle out or there's just something's wrong. 9 times out of 10, it's somebody who's like playing on their phone or smoking their vape and then talking about Christ all day. It's just like, we're cut down the jungle and weed whipping. Not hard. Why can't you show up with hard shoes, an orange shirt, gloves, eye protection? Breaks my brain. And then I kind of put that together with a lot of the students I've had over the last 20 years, and then especially the last 5 years. The students that practice 5 minutes a day and take what I say, they become musicians. Students who don't. Simple bit. Not a hard one to see. Yeah, I'm super looking forward to getting a program, getting it on my laptop, being able to work on concepts, and then I've got so many charts, like something like 3,000 that workable. Got 1,000 I need to tech. Need to break them down into songs that I like and groupings of like maybe genre or time or idea or feel or melody or maybe even break them down by modus. I don't know. And then eventually, start putting out music, something that's representative of what I is. And I got to tell you, I plan on doing this for the rest of my life. The same drive I'll have in my first one. I want the first one to be fun and awesome. And, I just don't want to make it my Sergeant Pepper, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But enough. So I don't know what that is yet. I have recorded. I've been in studio for other people. I know what the process is. I'm more of like a one take person. I'm like, cool, that was good enough. I hear what I want to hear in my head and I play it. I don't overdo it if I don't have to, and if I'm asked to do other takes, I generally play it the exact same way, omitting the oops or the flub. And then through the recording process, I've realized, it's not so bad to actually hit like a wrong note here and there. Go for what you need to. You can adjust a few things, but to have true authenticity, you spend 45 minutes adjusting a 10-second guitar line, and something's wrong. So every producer that I've ever worked with, an engineer, has been very impressed with me because they say you're quick, you know how to communicate, you're in and out, and then it's done. And I'm always like, yeah, it should be fun, easy, simple. So I'm looking forward to working with a guy named Thomas Mobat over at Elike Studios in Hilo. They're doing right now work with a buddy of mine who got me in on a project with Mr. Bobby Durham. It's lots of fun. Country. He created the Bakersfield sound in California in the 50s and 60s. So I'm sorry, sure, Bobby's a little old. We had fun in the studio, and then Bobby's just tickled with what I did. So I am super grateful, and I'm super, super happy to be on one of Bobby Durham's albums coming up here in the next year. And hopefully, if it makes a little traction, we can go play it for some people live. That'll be a lot of fun. But then again, everybody on this island is going to tell you who they know and what they know. I most likely won't talk about anything until it's set in stone. So, a couple things going on. I aforementioned going out, maybe doing some traveling, meeting people that I met on YouTube. Um, it sounds like a lot of fun to go meet people that play music, that have fun too, see them in their natural space, maybe do some collabs. Oh, dear God, hot. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, yeah. I'm feeling old. Let's see, I can't read. Let's see. That was a Trumpster on his deathbed and died before he could vote. Yeah. Yeah, my mom died last year. It was heavy, and my dad's just so. Yeah, it's a real shame. I actually pity him. I realize what it is. I feel sorry for him at this point. I've forgiven. I think I've forgiven myself for the way I've acted in the situations, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to forgive him in the way that I truly want to. I don't know if psychologically I'm capable of it, but that's a journey, isn't it? And then as far as like the whole us them, it's not us them, it's all of us collectively. Eventually, somebody will see that these individuals that are like my father or your late father, triple trumpers, I think they're called. Um, Trump is an empty individual. Oh, I got something in my nose. Maybe it's the Lord. Oh, it's not. But yeah, I for the first 2 years of his first presidency, I couldn't wrap my brain around how he got elected or the people. After his first presidency, I realized what damage he did. The fact that he didn't go away while Biden was president. Shame on Biden and the Democratic government for the way they behaved and what they did as well, especially Merrick Garland. But as far as our reality, it's like the introspective thought that happens when you realize that you're not the star of the show and the narcissism that you've created is only subject to the people that you subject to in your mind. So I've realized that this is how it's always been. Um, if you need inspiration, listen to a Black woman who's been fighting for rights their entire life. Listen to a community of people that have been oppressed. Um, it's a real shame that there's two different visions of what this actually is, or maybe three or five or a million, but the two distinct ones. In the future, I don't think it's going to be a party of us versus them or them versus us. It's just going to be an amalgamation of things that are charismatically better for society. And I am slightly educated, so I'm going to drop some knowledge on you. I'm going to stop talking about politics. But the reason why we have term limits is because the Republican Party realized that if you have a social democrat and that the taxpayer dollars goes towards programs, that the American people would be pleased and happy and well balanced, and that society would function. That's not what they want. They want complete total control and power with money. And if you think I'm lying, Christ is the party of hate. Christ is the party of Trump. There has not been one war or one stab or one bullet or one anything that didn't touch Christ or Jesus or Christians in some way. It's God's will. Touched it. Guns. Holy war. 160 Iranian children were bombed. Donald Trump. GOP, Party of Christ. He said he's going to commit genocide, which is a war crime in and of itself, on their Easter Sunday. War crimes. Christians. So no, $2 billion per day for a war that nobody asked for. When they are gone and have accountability, like Nuremberg trial type thing with executions and treason and the whole 9 yards, social democracy, legislation through legal means, and then inevitably institutions that talk about reality, like how fascism happened in America and that it wasn't like it was brand new. It was something that has been patriarchally passed down. It has always been present in America, which has never been great, nor is any other country or king or queen or imperialism. People need to educate themselves, and the future might have a bunch of people swiping left and right, but I don't see how that is a lasting reality. So what I see is like maybe a enlightenment over this Things will become easier. I have hope, finally, for one thing in my life, and optimism that people will inevitably do the right thing. And the end result, what's the alternative? I don't want to be in a fight with my dad or my mom or their type of people or their church going people. I teach probably 80% students that are Christians. They don't know their own religion. They don't know anything about it. They don't know where it comes from. They don't know anything that predated it, like Zoroastrianism. They have no clue who Methuselah is or what the Pentateuch is. They don't understand what their beliefs are, but they do know that they hate queer people and that getting involved in a women's reproductive is absolutely their right and their duty. Some man, so I think it's all nuts. And I don't put up with it. I don't put up with it on this channel. I don't put up with it in my local neighborhood. I don't put it up face to face. I don't put up with it in my own family. I don't put up with it. That's who I am. And I have been since I realized at 8 years old what this is. So no, big old shame on the Republican Party, big old shame on you Christians. And then as far as the Christian nationalists that are actually Nazis, like there's a special place in your hell for you. Good luck. But no, I'm past the point of wanting to have anger anymore towards these individuals. I am not foolish. I don't believe in peace or love and that hippie mentality, but I'm not an idiot either. I think there's a fine balance between doing what's morally correct, civilly correct, financially, and then, physically. So these child molesting, embezzling, grifting, Bitcoin, gerrymandering, fictional line, holier than thou, grifters, they all go eventually. And that is what life is. Noticing it and being like, we're going to be okay. Do what you need to do to get done. And then the end result is tomorrow. It just keeps going. So you could either get depressed about it and be a nihilist, or you could accept it and try to work at one or two things and make life better for yourself and others. I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that we are going to see a drastic change in the next 2 months. And then the next 2 years is going to be increasingly interesting. And I would say that everything that you are and I am and this is will be unrecognizable in 10 years. Ish. Yeah. So I'm super interested to see what happens with just some of the current big issues. But as far as like my process, I'm no longer writing songs. Like I stopped writing. I've written so many songs. They all have the same kind of idea of I practice so many different types of form and key signatures and melodies and motifs and all this. It's like it's all useless unless I have somebody to share it with. So that's where my journey is now. It's a big old summation to what I was just talking about. Um, some people just stumble into it and they don't think too much about it. Some people work really hard to become what they are. And they know that and they don't talk about it or they do, Some people that we noticed that you think worked really hard actually came from money. Like they didn't really even need to lift a finger. They were just given what they have. And then the narrative that they tell themselves is a little different. And it allows them to cope with the fact that they're truly kind of empty and that, it really is an interesting psychological endeavor when you start categorizing what a type of archetype of the human mind is and then categorize people into it. And I would say that uh, unrefined observations are just kind of like racism. But generalities aren't racism. They're kind of like just generalities of who we are. So I realized that rather than being angry at my parents for being Christians and like supporting bad policy and being kind of mean-willed, spirited people, disguising it as faith and God's will, it's like they're just truly uneducated. They're ignorant. So how do I feel about that? I guess they're a lost cause and educate the children. I don't know what else to do. Can I start going this way? Is that where I'm at? All right, I really want to work that way. I think I'm not my threshold. Gotta hit this. Oh man. all that amounts to nothing in a hill of beans because the truth is things are going to work out the exact way that they're supposed to work out. No holds bars. Everything has a rhyme and a reason. Might not see the point of it. I don't call it faith or God. I just call it chaos and causality. For some reason, people want to put names and humana on it. 14 billion years ago doesn't seem long enough. I think it's longer. I think that's a farce. I think in 2050, we realize that the redshift that's behind what we call the Big Bang is like 28 billion years or something long, rather than 14. I think that it's naive to think that we know anything about anything because I've realized how naive I am thinking I know anything about anything. So collectively, I think it helps to take a little breath and a little laugh. Then again, what do I do? Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, man. Truly miss my mom. It really affects you after people are gone, regardless of how you feel about them or the way their views are. So, I guess on the note of seriousness, if you have somebody in your life and they were something to you and they're no longer, maybe just in your own mind, tell yourself that you love them and that it's okay. Other than that, write a song about it. Oh, Mr. Worm. Oh, you're happy. Oh, we're gonna put you over here. There you go. Okay, they're bouncing back. I gotta stop doing that. I need a bucket. I need a bucket. Mr. Beard does yard work, I think is what we're gonna call this. I'm just joking. Maybe we could Wago gets stung by a centipede again. Oh my goodness, that one's big. Humba bumba bumba. He loved to corner Bobby away. Come along with me to a place called Volcano. That's where you wanna go to do some labor with me. Way down in Volcano. I wonder if the volcano's erupting. Does anybody know that? Is killer wave going on? Ooh, yeah. What was that? Something scooted. Oh, are you interested? Do you want to see what this is? Ooh. It's not too hard. I would get the weed whip, but this kind of pulled back in one felt swoop, so super groovy. Ooh, Mother Ruthsa. I wish I was in better shape. Might be easier. All right, 2 questions. 1, what is this? Is Kilauea going off? And 2, what time is it? Ooh, worm. Hey, who is the man with the beard? Who is the man? I mean, this by far is the best soil. It has paleades here. It's made of tephra. This comes directly out of the volcano. Nuts. Nutty balls. How do these worms do it? It's like glass. Poor little buddies. You were always on my mind. I'll be Uh-oh, I'm on my butt. Usually when I get to my butt, that means I'm tired. No. Wow. It's not good. Not even close to being done. Does anybody know who, or the Greek story of pushing the boulder up the mountain? Oh, I've been this. Really is something. Midnight out, like to feel your power. On my knee. That sounds really sus. Anybody remember that video, the Madonna video? I guess I would have been like 7 or 8 years old when that, like, just well, I remember watching that video, and I think at that time that was the first time that I had ever seen the Christ figure being portrayed by an African American. And my first thought at 8 years old was, yeah, that's probably more correct than the white Jeebus that was produced in Midwestic. But you know, when you do a little bit of thinking about things that make a little bit more sense. But that video got me, along with a lot of those. Ow. Um, like I would say that these individuals that are rock stars are the political activists. Oh no, I didn't get it. All right. Yeah, like where are our sages and poets? Where are Langston Hughes or like Hemingways? Where are our artists that are producing pieces of work which demonstrate what this is? Where are our Thoreaus? You know, how come we're not hearing passages about the road less traveled in these times of angst? And if I guess if you have to ask the question, maybe you are, maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe it's Huey Lewis is the dude. Oh no, I don't believe me. You say that you think you know the meaning of life. You say love is all we need. You say with your love you can change all of the hate, all of the fools. I think we're probably out to lunch. Hey, if you're over the age of 18, go check out a movie called Naked Lunch. It's definitely not sexual. It is a mind warper. Naked Lunch. I haven't thought of that in years. All right. Well, I'm about to get sick. Watching my TV. So my eyeballs fail to see. I mean, it says it every day. Just another rotten mess. Sure enough. And when I'm gonna end, my friend, is anybody guess? So I'm watching and I'm waiting, hoping for the best. If you think I go to crazy every time I hear him saying, down, 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 down. Wednesday, I watched the riots, seeing the cops out on the streets, seeing them smoking fire, seeing them choking in the heat. Heard about stories about the whiskey passing around. Yeah. And the bottles going down. Slash, smash, bash, crash, slash, bust and burn. But I'm watching them, hoping for the best. Every time I go to sing, ooh, centipede. Time I hear them saying, oh yeah. No way to delay that trouble coming every day. Down, 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 with delaying that trouble coming every day. Oh, don't bite on, Oh, mister, I'm so sorry. Oh, actually, you're not a missus or you are both sexes. What's that called again? Asexual? I don't know. Looks like I have some fun Googling to do this evening. Oh, hello. All right, let me take a quick break. Kid Rock never really did it for me. Yeah, Kid Rock. Honestly, I can't even name one Kid Rock song. Bomb did bang a bang dang diggy. I mean, I did the mental processes on it. He grew up a rich white kid named Richie. He's a lot like my buddy aforementioned that just had it all. Didn't see how narcissistic he was. In fact, he looked a lot like him. Long story short is it is interesting. I think that bomb bada bomb bang dang 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 dum dum bum bum bum, that old doo-wop song. I think bomb with the bang dang diggy is that song. They just don't see it that way. But through music analyzation, I definitely am like, oh, every song is something else. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're not here. These had to be shipped in, I think. The only river rocks to be naturally occurring that were wound down like these would have been shipped over from one of the other islands. And if I were to guess, I assume these are shipped here. There's just not enough rivers here on more land. This is the Big Island, so all rivers we have come from the top, go down the volcano or the summit, and then down. We call them gulches, and in that gulch you will find these rounded off river rocks. But just knowing a little bit about rocks, these look like something that was resourced from California. But I wouldn't be able to know. They definitely, if I see one that has like a little um, indentation or a little pop, I might try crack it with my chisel, see if I could open something, see a geode or at least some sort of fun fossil. Other than that, just gonna keep at this. Thanks for hanging out today. Sure, there's other stuff's going on, but oh, what time is it? Ooh, 11:38. I got about a half an hour more, and then I got to call it quits. So to make this look nice for them, for at least a partially done. This is the largest piece. What I think I plan on doing is continuing here to this is where the line goes, going all the way out. Clear all this, put down weed blocker, and then set a couple stones, and then come back later today. And since the larger portion is here too, I might do this as well. That way I'll have weed blocker here, weed blocker here. I can start putting rocks back on. And then all the rocks I find out here, I could toss on the new weed blocker. If there gets some debris, I'll blow it off with a blower. But the truth of it is these rocks that are on this, if I could pull this back in one fell swoop, that would get all this green matter out of here. And that was going to be the hardest part. I assume that was going to take the longest time. So I am probably going to leave that there so they have something. It's not just stopping us there. Yeah, a little hard work always goes a long way. Yeah, I mean, if music doesn't work out after I try this for like a year or two, if we can't afford to eat, or economy just banks or something, um, I could always go back to doing labor. I really need to change up all my jobs so I'm not paying any taxes to the federal government. I can't believe I'm paying money to the federal government this year for terrorism. I I don't really want to talk about it. My brain's broken. Yeah, but I'm changing up my stuff. I'm trying to have all my students pay me cash now. I don't know. The truth is, I should have a 20-year-old with me right now doing the hard grunt work, labor, and pay them a good fee. They should learn a hard, valuable lesson what it's like to work next to a 45-year-old that works harder than them. I mean, every person I've ever hired on this island is just not a worker, not a worker. But it's 2026. What do you expect? Anywho, can't control others. You can only control yourself. Tired of thinking about it? Just gonna do it. I don't want to be famous. I just want to get the music out of my soul and do something I truly enjoy and love. Finally, for once in my life, follow a path and stick to it. If it's not the right path, be okay with that. But the truth is, you're never going to know if you try. And I'm completely envious of people who have no context of what I'm talking about. They just do whatever and do. You know, I've never had money. I've never had enough money to buy anything. Everything I own is secondhand. The only thing I've ever bought that are brand new, I guess the car. The car to support the company and to get to and fro and to have something dependable is the only thing I've ever truly bought, which is brand new. I'm building a house, but by the time I get done with it, it's going to be old, like me. And all these things I'm jabbing about are just the process of life, living and feeling and thinking and feeling. And the idea is to not get hung up on things that set anchor, I think. Oh man, my fingers are getting tore up. I'm glad I brought love today. Ooh, seen it on the TV. Call anybody. vegetable. Have a chances are good. How the vegetable will respond to you. Through the bay, get through the bay, get through the bay, through the bay. And if you're hanging out right now and you want something else to do, go check out Birdfinger, Bryd. Byrd. I can't spell. Has a Y in there. Birdfinger. If you like my jibber jab, you might watch them for a couple minutes and have fun. I do. Check out Birdfinger every day. It's a boy, Mrs. Wilson. It's a boy. It's a boy. Boy. Anybody remember that commercial from I think it was AT&T or Steak and Shake? It was like family was too cheap to pay for telephone back in the day. For you, those who didn't know what a rotary phone is, on a rotary phone, you'd have to pay for minutes. So you'd have to drop in change. So rather than paying for the phone call, you had a brief moment to like leave a message for the person you wanted to call collect. So you could say something in that time and just convey a message without having to pay for it. And there was a commercial. It was like, he was like, guy answers the phone. The wife goes, "Who is that, honey?" And he's like, "It's Bob. They had a baby. It's a boy." And the message is, "Bobby had a baby. It's a boy." Then I always use that as an example to talk about rhythm and dynamics. Like you can say, "Bob, we had a baby. It's a boy," or you can say, "Bob, we had a baby. It's a boy," and you get a little bit more out of it if you slow it down. I always found that commercial to be very funny. I think if I believed in anything in this world, I would have gone into marketing. But I definitely don't believe in capitalism. Never have. Not for one moment. I mean, it's kind of crazy to see. When I was younger, I participated a little bit, but then after doing the participation in the labor to get the money to buy the things, I realized that I didn't like doing the labor to get the money to buy the things because the things I wanted to buy weren't worth the labor that I did. So I just kind of bowed out from doing work. And what I realized was I was programmed by my parents and my community to be a hard worker, and that when I got out into the workforce and actually started doing working on my own, I worked way harder than everybody else did. And I guess psychologically I got off on that. I always try to be the hardest worker at the job. Again, none of it matters now, but truth is I could have been my own boss when I was 19, 20, not knowing that other people are liars and there is no work ethic. I really should have just done it, but I was just too stupid and naive. So here I am teaching lessons on an island where people really need critical thinking skills, and music is the way to do that. So I am my own boss now, which is great, but all the responsibility falls on me for everything. And, I guess that's okay. I don't have to answer to anybody, which is nice, except for my wife, but I view her more as my partner. Sometimes the boss. Yeah. Yeah. Skuma. Skuma now. Awesome. Yeah, most old traditional houses do. I haven't. I don't have a degree. I went to college. I'd have to go back to get a degree. Here on island, there's really no need to. Our music teachers at the schools and universities drop like flies. They only make it 3 or 4 years. The kids don't care. They sit there and play on their phones. They have no way to enforce anything, and there's no money in any program because our government has gutted it. So most people that go into this end up quitting because it's frustrating here on island. And I'm not going to subject. What's the word I'm trying to say? Not going to subjugate myself to being judged by a group of my peers when the group of my peers won't be there in 2 years. The only reason to go to college is to be around people that think and feel the same way you do so you could broaden your horizons in a given field. Mine's music. I know as much as I could possibly know, and that's exactly as much as the people in college know at first, second, third, and fourth year. Unless you have a music doctorate, which is what I'm kind of working on my own time. Um, I would. I've already gone on to college level websites, taking their tests and passing every single one of them with flying colors. So that's the reason why I teach, not because I have an ego or I think that this is my calling, or it's just it is what it is. I'm doing it for the meantime, but it serves the purpose and I enjoy it and I'm providing a service. So what I'd really like to know how to cheat, lie, and steal. I'm just joking. I'd like to know how to do everything above board, but do it so there is a little bit more incentive. Done a lot of hard work. There's nothing to show for it. That's what I want to do in the next year or two. Have something to show for it. And other than that, yeah, I mean, I'd like to try anything. Petroleum and safety, yeah. I mean, the idea that I think that I'm looking for, or what people look for that are hiring, is just like have a degree in a field of being special, then utilize that. But the degree is what matters. Were you able to wake up, go to classes, talk to your peers, write papers, have critical thinking skills? You know, I don't give a shit if somebody's got a degree, a BA in nursing, or if they have a psych degree or a marketing degree. You can still do labor. If you're not physically able, but the idea is if you had a group of individuals that ran a company and one was a doctor and one was a lawyer and one was an anthropologist, one was a geologist, and like everybody had a role, and like the thing that was their passion, they didn't quite do it the job, but everybody got along. Don't you think the overall quality of everybody that worked at that place would be better just because you don't have like a CEO that doesn't know shit all about anything, that tells people what to do, which is incorrect because they do no marketing or research? Like I worked for wine.com. You want to talk about a shit show? Wow. When I quit, I said, I'm giving you 2 weeks to be kind, and I'm going to follow my dream and live in Hawaii, try to live sustainability and become a musician for whatever that means. And the reason why I'm going is I realize working for you, everyone here is incompetent. Every single one of you. I've offered great ideas, nobody does it. And then you hired a team and paid them something like $2.5 million to give the same idea that I did. Turn the rows the other way, stack vertical. My mind was blown. I was like, go F yourself. And rightfully so. They were like, yeah, of course. Get out of here. And I was like, bye, aloha, I think I said. Anywho, I was real upset. Maybe like 10 years ago. Moving here has really helped. Working hard has really helped. I haven't stopped moving since the day that I moved here. I work harder than every person that I've ever met. And I'm not tooting. I'm just saying that's what it takes to survive here. People think Hawaii, they're like, oh, paradise. Okay. Can't tell you last time I saw the ocean. You know why? Rocks to be dealt with. It's not like I'm bitching. I don't care. I actually really enjoy here. The whole idea is, yeah, yeah, science. That would be it too, man. I mean, I mix a little bit of everything in with what I teach my students. I teach them world history. I teach them science and math. The way that I feel is I am blown away at the level of education of these individuals. Mind-blowingly, numbingly. So long story short, I teach mathematics. I teach a little bit of basic relativity and science. I teach about some of the old greats, Stoics. Where music comes from is where math comes from. So kind of blend it all together. And the reason why I have students that last with me for 2, 3, 5 years is because their parents understand the quality of having somebody who's educated, that is non-toxic white male. It is invaluable. The amount of money you would spend on a used car for your kid when they turn 16 and insurance, for a year, that would be the amount of money you need to spend on your kid for an education. Most people nickel dime it, so they don't even buy their kid a piano when they have piano tape. they don't get their kids instruments. They don't buy stuff. So I end up providing accessories and musical instruments and everything and resources. So the long and short of it is, if I can figure out how to get somebody that believes in me to become a 501c, start making money, rather than spending my own hard-earned money to just survive and build a future, it would be cool. And I want somebody to believe in me that says, hey, you've already got this going, you can do this, you can do this. So when I become a full-time musician in the next 2 or 3 months, that gives me now the extra time to invest in my future and put it into me, something I've never done in my life. So that's what I'm going to do. And this channel, it's going to be a representation of what it is to feel old, be old, do old, and just follow your dream. All right, well, this is going to be a lot longer than that. 9 to 10, 10, 11, 11 to 12. This took 3 hours. I'm going to get done with, no, I won't. I'm going to get done with this. So 3, 6, 9. That's what this. I need to have a shaker. So I need to build an apparatus to shake out this so I can use a shovel. That cuts that in half. So 3, 1.5. If I get a worker, that cuts it down to like an hour tops, both busting butt. Cool. I'm going to try and find workers tonight. Oh, shut up. So just like that, I think that was called critical thinking. I realized how long it took to do this. I totally underbid it. I can't ask the client for any more, even though it is appropriate. So now I need to take a hit on it, hire somebody, pay them a fair wage. And it's a crapshoot whether I'm going to get somebody who knows how to show up on time with gear, head, 2 arms. I'm not an armist. I'm just making a funny joke. 73. Yeah, breaking it down into here is like, I didn't expect this to be like this, but I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And if the client likes what I'm doing, then they want to pay me more at the end of the job, cool. But I'm not going to ask somebody to pay me more after I missed it. That makes sense. And the truth is, I would like to be not doing this so I could take my ukulele and go hunting with my buddies. And, once we get the kill, my turn to be cutting, just play ukulele on the mountainside and enjoy the view of Waimea and Kona. And, being with my friends on island. I have a few friends. I think I have 3 or 4 friends. Yeah, none of them are white. It's interesting though. Not that mattered, but I don't know. I think I'm just a little burnt out on 2026, and it just started. So I'm looking forward to making this transition. This is one of the hardest transitions in my life because it relies on me having faith in myself and others, I guess. But I guess out of all the decisions I've ever made in my life, like this is the most qualified one. Like, am I qualified to run a backhoe? Sure. Am I the best at it? No. Am I qualified to run a forklift and pull merchandise for a company? Sure. But am I great at it? No. Do I want to be doing that? No. So what do I want to be doing? What are we going to do? And how does that help my wife grow? And how does that help my neighbors grow? And I'm able to finish the house. And what do we do to the house? And how am I going to have sustainability and all these things? And like, I want to work on this with my wife and our local group. So can't do that while you're pushing a mower and knocking down walls and spray painting nonsense and fixing roof leaks. Although I do enjoy doing it, it made me very self-sufficient. I gotta say, I've never done any of this stuff in my life. Usually I worked in the waiting industry or service industries, bartending, serving food, making food, chef, sous chef. I've worked in a multitude of different fields just to see if I like business, stock market. Did not, do not, would not, will not. A lot of things working, and what I've realized is the closest I get to being my own boss was the best, and I think music was the thing I should have followed my whole life, but I was programmed by my society and my church and my parents and all that. And now I realize that they're evil, completely messed up in the head. Things that they believe are not real or true, and that I should have been following my own path the whole time. And what I also realized I don't need a God to tell me that this was my path to begin with, anyways, where I am exactly right now. Just it's causality. I am stoked, as I'm saying, to see what the future brings. I tell you what, talking to you or talking to myself has made this worthwhile today. I think I would have been really bummed out and broken today, just moving rocks by myself. I mean, small, large, yes. Oh, you can do the forklift proficiency. Oh, yeah. I did the forklifts. I enjoyed it. I did the forklift at wine.com. They didn't have anybody that really stood up towards it and did it. And, I looked them straight in the face and I was like, hey, I, uh, I partake in 420. I was like, I don't think you want me driving a forklift. They're like, you are the most sane and the most responsible person on our floor. This is what we need you to do. Don't ever bring that up again. I was like, and then, long story short, things come and go. People come and go. That was the last job I worked for anybody. For the man, I guess you would say. Last job I worked for. Also, don't drink alcohol. And I was trying to get away from that lifestyle when I was here on the mainland. Doesn't even affect me. Oh man. Ah! All right. That sucks. All right, my friends. Today, labor has ended. Really wish I could have gotten further on it, but turbo. Yeah, I do need to hydrate. I need to drink that water. I'm breathing a little too heavy too. Although it's nice to be here and breathing nicer air, but there's a little bit of fallout from the volcano every once in a while, so gotta be careful. Let's see here. Everything did look like that. Now it looks like this. I should put down cardboard too, and some taro, TERRO. It's an ant blocker, which is natural. Well, kind of natural, has arsenic in it, but hope the customer is okay with me leaving these. They're gonna have to be because I can't move them. I wanted to get that end part finished, but I'm not going to. This is my line for the line, and I need to put all the stones back so they don't kill the grass in front of there. Load up my kizzle and hit the hizzle. Nah, that's not what that means. Anyhow, thanks for hanging out with me today. This has been fun. I talked a little bit too much about the Jeebs and politics, but then again, it's my channel. I'll do what I want. I do appreciate everybody being kind, compassionate, caring on here. And then if you do have a music channel, drop your link. Throw it in the comment section. I'm all about checking out channels that do music for sure. Thank you very much for hanging out. It's I'm glad to hear you're playing out too, man. Borax is the essential everything in manufacturing. Yeah. I mean, the truth is the future is going to blow our minds. Um, if you mix regular sand with if you mix 1 pound of sand with a cup of calcium and piss in it, it will make a perfect brick, which is watertight, um, which will not ever decay. It is waterproof. That essentially is how we built everything else in antiquity. They couldn't figure out how Romans made Roman concrete. Turns out urine is the active ingredient. There's an enzyme inside of or bacteria that it breaks down the calcium into harder rock. So our future is really interesting. It's going to be wonderful to experience it. We just have to get through the next 2 months, 2 years. I'm excited. I truly am. I think the future is going to be very exciting. Anyway, this channel is going to be exciting. Aloha. Thanks for being here. It's I hope you have a great day there. I wish I had my glasses on. I can't read this stuff. We had Wes stop by. Check out Wes Plays Music if you want to say hello. And then if you haven't checked out the channel and you're watching this meow, put a thumbs up if you made it all the way to the end. Why not? Aloha. Bum, bum, ba, dum, dum. Rum, bum, ba, ba, do, do, do. Do, 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 do.